noticed with the 21st century classroom is it blurs the lines between the traditional teacher-student role.
What I've been surprised about is it's really put the students and myself on an even floor. They often are helping me as well as me helping them. So it's been really neat seeing the kids step up to using the computers.
It really re-energized and rejuvenated everything I do. I remember saying to a friend that I feel like I'm a first-year teacher all over again, only I also had the benefit of 4 years experience.
And it frees me up in a way that I never had before, where I can really work with individual students one-to-one, small groups of students, and in smaller settings. And so it's more, the learning becomes more tailored, more customized to the individual students versus like cookie cutter. Okay.
It certainly has had a positive impact on me because I'm able to find other resources out there to show the kids or teach the kids concepts that were not as concrete.
I know this year I have covered a lot more curriculum than I have in years past because students have information at their fingertips because they have the laptops in front of them all the time. So now instead of me giving them information, I guide them and help them search, and I just counsel them in terms of how they're supposed to access and utilize and apply the information. They can get the information themselves. I think it's been a much more effective and efficient way of teaching.
I think in terms of hitting learning styles was huge. With moving away from maybe just using marker and colored pencils to using the technology and allowing students who are more auditory learners to express themselves that way, or visual learners, or the kinesthetic piece when we had them doing movies and up and acting and moving. It kind of was a good combination of hitting all the different learning styles, as well as ability levels. A lot of.
For one thing, it's a lot easier to present the materials to the students, and the smartboard really helped a lot with that, even as far as taking notes, as far as doing more interactive lessons with the kids and having them come up and being involved.
My job is more to help guide students in their research and evaluating material, on adding the substance, what makes this material so important, or the big ideas, and help students in their discovery.
The classroom's no longer a one-size-fits-all type of classroom where one particular student having issues with a certain type of concept. There's more diversity, there's more differentiation of things that they can do in the classroom.
And I can't wait for next year because I have a fall semester that I didn't have the benefit of having the CFF classroom for before, so I get to be excited about doing things with the curriculum next fall, and then next spring I get to start tweaking, so I'm really excited to see where that's going to go.
They're a lot more motivated, but more importantly, I think they find more value in that they can really, with the inquiry-based learning, project-based learning, they get deeper into a lot of the important issues.
As for my students, I absolutely think that they have benefited from the exposure to both the technology and the software, like VoiceThread, wikis, blogging, etc. That exposure will absolutely benefit them down the road.
The ability to apply the students' knowledge in a setting that is perhaps a little bit more indicative of the real world in terms of the types of media, the types of literacy that they encounter every day, and that they are going to be asked to create both now and in the future, has really enabled them to, I think, take some of the literature that we've done and read in class, to take the writing assignments, and to be a little bit more critical, a little bit more analytical, and certainly, like I said, to apply their knowledge.
Lost. I think bringing the computers into the fray and having the students kind of take the material, get their hands on it, and convey it in different ways, there's no doubt in my mind the students are far more likely to walk away with more of the information, to take ownership of the information. Likewise, they were more inclined to make connections between the material and what's going on today, which I think is the real point of my job as a social studies teacher.
The kids are learning to appreciate and utilize students who have differences and incorporate those into their everyday lessons.
It really kept it relevant for them. It allowed me to create a project-based classroom where they were engaged, they were working, and they weren't being needled by me to get things done. They were coming up with projects that they'd created, that they developed the topics for. They were in groups that they'd picked, that assigned themselves tasks. They were really keeping themselves on task because they knew they had this project to complete.
In terms of students' experience, it allows them to kind of construct their own understanding of the essential questions that we take a look at in history.
By using the technology, they can investigate concepts online using internet research. They can look at video tutorials. They can use different software, mathematics software, in a way that brings the concept alive to them versus just looking at a picture on a page or some numbers and letters on a page.
And it's them learning. It's not them listening to me teach. It's rather them being inquiring about different issues, pulling the bigger issues, throughout, whether it's global studies or American humanities. They're really trying to find more about culture by going deeper into issues, using the technology and presenting that to the class.
Also, it allows us to go to places where they can simulate experiments and not just do 5 or 6 experiments or even 100 experiments in a classroom period. They're able to do thousands of experiments in literally a blink of an eye. So they're really able to grasp what will happen in the long run.
By the end of this year, the next market period, they were doing full-blown edublogs, creating web pages, embedding video, embedding music and images, and they were using many different online Web 2.0 ideas, using a lot of online and photo editing software and things of that nature. So I think from an ability standpoint, the students were really able to kind of move and grow at their own pace.
It gives me great pleasure to hear my students say that having the math books this year has been both fun as well as challenging. And to know that the students are recognizing the fact that they're being challenged, yet they still say that it's been fun, is, I think, a testament to all the hard work that a lot of people have done to bring this technology to the classroom.
It's a win-win situation for the students and for the teachers.